The Modi government of India says the Indus Water Treaty is dead forever. India has decided not to attend the sham neutral expert proceedings scheduled to take place in Vienna, Austria from November 17th to 21st. This even as Pakistan claims it will fully participate in the neutral expert proceedings in good faith. But Pakistan, talking about good faith, could be the joke of the century. Not just India, even Afghanistan has decided to end all and any water cooperation with Pakistan unless Islamabad gives up its support for state-sponsored terror groups.
Major international terrorist attacks are traced back.
The Vienna proceedings have no legal standing and India is not lawfully obliged to attend them. The Indian government added, until such a time that the treaty remains in abeyance, India is no longer bound to perform any of its obligations under it, unquote. Amid the temporary suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, Pakistan has reportedly written several letters to New Delhi begging India to restore the treaty, but the Modi government has not obliged and rejected all such requests.
To make it, don't think of it as India-Pakistan, think of it as India-Terroristan.
The conditions of the treaty have been made clear to Pakistan and India will not give way. India's action on suspension of the treaty began after the Pahalgam terror attack in April when a Pakistan-backed Islamic terror group massacred 26 Hindus in Kashmir. Now there has been another terror attack linked to Pakistan-based global terror outfit Jaish or JEM on the 10th of November near the Red Fort metro station in the national capital New Delhi. India's non-participation in the Vienna meeting comes right after 13 people lost their lives in this deadly car blast on Monday. New Delhi says blood and water will never flow together. Even the Delhi blast masterminds and kingpins had been operating from Pakistan and Turkey. After the Pahalgam terror attack, a boycott of the Indus Water Treaty of 1960 was announced by the Modi government along with a series of stringent measures to punish Pakistan.
The Indus Water Treaty is held in abeyance and will be continued to be held in abeyance.
India announced that the treaty will be placed in abeyance in exercise of India's right as a sovereign nation under international law. This was to continue until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terror. But Islamabad's role in Delhi blast shows Pakistan will never correct its ways. India has stopped sharing river water flow data with Pakistan, expedited projects on western rivers that flow into Pakistan, as well as stopped any Pakistani officials visiting Indian hydropower sites. The Modi government also closed the checkpost at Atari and imposed bans on imports and postal services. In May, India also conducted reservoir flushing activities at Salal and Baglihar dams in Jammu and Kashmir, which led to instant overflow of water and flooding downstream in several Pakistani regions. Pakistan claims boycotting Indus Water Treaty is illegal as per international law. However, Islamabad itself suspended the Shimla Agreement of 1962, so it's really not in a position to preach to India. Currently, the Indian government has formed interministerial panels to review the terms of the treaty. However, dialogues between the two countries remain strained and suspended. As the Indus Water Treaty stays on hold, India is also advancing on several key projects on the rivers like the long-standing hydropower project on the Chenab River, the Sawalkot hydroelectric power project. The project first began 6 decades ago, would you believe it, but it has now been revived. The National Hydroelectric Power Corporation, which is India's center-owned agency for hydropower development, has invited international tenders now in July for the 1,856 megawatt Sawalkot project on the Chenab River in Jammu and Kashmir. This will be Jammu and Kashmir's largest hydropower project, which features a 192.5 meter roll-compacted concrete gravity dam. It is designed as a run-of-the-river scheme to utilize Chenab's high-velocity water flow. It aims to generate nearly 2,000 megawatts of power. The Indian government also revealed plans to construct a 113-kilometer-long canal with the intention to redirect surplus water from western rivers like the Chenab, the Indus and the Jhelum to northern Indian states of Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. This project will link the Chenab river system with the Ravi, Beas, Sutlej river system and optimize water use in these regions. The new canal will eventually connect to the Yamuna river canal system, enabling better utilization of India's water share. According to the conditions of the original treaty, the major proportion of water shares from the three western rivers went to Pakistan, and India had control of the three eastern rivers of Ravi, Beas and Sutlej. Days after suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, the Indian government held discussions on this IWT. Reports claim India would require at least 22 large dams to ensure not a single drop of water that belongs to India flows into Pakistan. According to Water Resources Minister C.R. Patil, the most practical and feasible way to actually execute this is by building 22 large storage dams. The Pakul Dul is first storage facility in India on the tributary of a Chenab river, and there are 6 other operational hydroelectric projects on the western rivers in Jammu and Kashmir. There are also other hydroelectric projects currently underway like Ratle, Pakul Dul, Kuar and Tiru, which began in 2021 and 2022. The Saral Kishanganga, Baglihar, Uri, Dulhasti and Nimu Basgu reservoirs can reportedly hold only 0.4% of water, but as per reports, this can increase up to 2% after all the construction of other hydropower projects are completed. India's boycott of the Indus Water Treaty is a perfect leverage against Pakistan amidst regional tensions and the threat of the next war. Pakistan's economy and agriculture is solely dependent on the 3 western rivers flowing from India into Pakistan. These are Chenab, Jhelum and of course the Indus. If India blocks even a small percent of water supply or increases water flow through reservoir flushing, Pakistan's agriculture and especially its economy will suffer and could even tank. Additionally, the treaty being on suspension has already triggered fears of massive water shortage inside Pakistan. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi had claimed, quote, "The people of the country fully understand how unjust and one-sided the Indus Agreement is. The rivers originating from India are irrigating the enemy's fields, while the farmers of my own country and the land of my own country remains thirsty without water." Personally, I fail to understand why first Prime Minister Nehru agreed to divide India in the name of religion, but then did not carry it through, leading to deep divisions within Indian society which persist even till today. Then, a few years later in 1960, with the Indus Water Treaty, the Nehru government gave up most of India's water rights for its own northern rivers. Under the original treaty, 80% water share goes to Pakistan, while India retains only 20%. Just what was the compulsion of the Nehru government back then to accept such a lopsided terms without even a proper study? Now Prime Minister Modi says this will just not continue anymore, adding, "The water that is India's rightful share belongs solely and entirely to India and to the farmers of India. India will not tolerate this any longer. It is the interest of our farmers and in the interest of our nation. We cannot accept this agreement." Unquote. But what do you believe? Should the lopsided Indus Water Treaty ever be restored against a terror state like Pakistan? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.